Well, another fun-filled day of Chevy II stuff. So where we left it last, we had welded in floor pans, put carpet in, kind of put the interior haphazard together. We're missing a couple of bolts, but it's getting there. So today, or in today's video I should say, Dan here, to use speech up, we're going to kind of finish off, I think, the rust repair and a few little odds and ends. So my plan is, let me just give you the agenda, the context, whatever it's called. What it's also in the beginning of books. Step one, we're going to get out Porta Power and see if we can fix up this quarter. So we fixed up here was fine, but the bumper was hit and it pushed everything in. So I'm thinking is, if we can go ahead and get the Porta Power, what's like echoing here, creepy, right there, pop that out, it'll just kind of line everything up a little bit. So that's step one. After that, you can see there's a little bit of rust in that area, but it's pretty superficial. The structure below it's actually not in too bad a shape, so we should be able to kind of plate it. This one's already been done, but I think I will cut that out and do it a little bit more properly. So we'll get those both done. Get this thing up in the air. Then I did cut the fuel line, the brake line. I gotta do some screwing around with that, but I want to put a ratchet shifter in this thing. Maybe figure out these seats a little bit better. Get the interior kind of mostly finished. The ratchet shifter, though, I'd like to see if it'll go into gear properly. This thing has Power Glide column, and it's Turbo 350, and the linkage is just an abomination. So see if we can get some stuff together on that and see if it'll actually go into gear. That'd be pretty sweet. And then finally, if we're lucky enough and get Murr over here, my old man, I have a front windshield. I'd like to try and rope a front windshield in here. Make it look a little, you know, in my own mind, this is just me, maybe I'm the only one. I don't like cars without glass in them. It just, they really, especially old cars, they really finish off the look to them. Like you look at the back window, like it's part of the shape of the car. So it just looks blah, ugly. I don't like it. So we'll put the glass in. I'm waiting on a rear rubber for the rear window. We can get the front one in and kind of make it look like a car just has a smashed out back window. Then we can get in the mechanical. I'm forcing myself to do all the ugly body work and stuff like that that I really do not enjoy because I want to get that taken care of. I also have to get on the quarter panel on the other side. It's got a little bit of rot on it. We'll see how the video goes if I want to start on that, or that'll probably be its own little thing. I've listed a lot of stuff. We got a lot to do in a short time to get there. I'm going to get this thing jacked up in the air, and I'll see you at the Porta Power. Okay, so we got this hot rod up in the air. I've just kind of swept up, made a little bit of a work area for myself. The Porta Power, or whatever this is, knockoff brand, but it's Merce. I stole it. Basically all it is it's a bottle jack. So you got a bottle jack there, you have your little hand pump there, and you have a bunch of different extensions to whatever you have to do. And as you crank, obviously it's just going to extend that out. Now there's a whole bunch of different tips and ends and stuff like that, which we can use that we might get involved in. Now what we're trying to do, I got it jammed up against that spare tire little hoop there, or whatever that is. So hopefully we can have a angle push out that way, because what's happened is this is going in this way. So we're going to try and push it out. Now the quarter panel wrinkled, but what really happened was this back structure panel got bent in. So if we can push right on the edge here, which I'm going to try and do, if that pulls out, in theory, it should pull the quarter panel that way as well. The real issue is going to be, will it be able to hold on that, or is it going to go all cattywampus? So we'll get you on the tripod and we'll start working this thing out. Okay, take one. We'll just see if this will even kind of hold. It's doing something there, I think. Well, I might be in the wrong. Not much a better spot I can get. Oh, something happened. What does this side look like? Try right here, maybe. You know what? What am I trying to accomplish here? just wonder if I want to go just straight back with it instead of at an angle. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, take two. I got it straight running back instead. All this is going to be kind of hidden by the bumper. Wheel tub's seen some hard times there. It's starting to bend. It's moving I can see it moving the quarter, but it's definitely not happy. So I got a bunch of blocks of wood. The problem is I had just the tip on it. It was, I mean, not that it really matters, but starting to kind of mangle up stuff on the inside. Let's just see what happens here. A little bit of wood, it's fine. I think it's moving. All good noises. I wonder if I could smack that out somehow. Well, it's definitely come back. Let's see what this looks like here before I go too crazy. Okay, we're gonna go from a different angle here. A little higher up. See if it'll pull out the quarter. It's making noises. All sorts of noises. We KOing that wheel tub? No, we're good. Oh, there we go. What we can do here? Yeah, 2x4. Okay, so we're coming out. So here's the situation. I got it between a couple of blocks of wood. Now what I really want to do is just kind of smack it right there, because that has to kind of pop out, and I think we'd really have some, but I can't really get in there too well. So I'm going to try to do it with the Porta Power on with the block of wood. Otherwise, we'll kind of take it out, knock it, and go from there. I'm just trying not to mangle everything worse than it already is. Mind you, it definitely is coming around. I think then the bumper's going to go, obviously, hide all this anyway, so this is what we're trying to really get out. It's definitely on the foldy side. Down here, we're not going to be able to get to that. It also has to go in right there. Maybe I can do that too. I like I'm just talking to myself. You guys are just kind of along for the ride here. That doesn't look too bad. I wonder what the other side looks like. Oh, it's fixed. I think it's mint. Pull back in myself. Is the trunk still closed? Oh yeah, we're good. So now we got this thing kind of squared away. We're gonna have to modify, well not modify, we'll probably bend back the bumper bracket. So you see how it's kind of sticking out, my thumb fits between it. And over here, it's a little tight, and it just kind of has to do one of those. But I mean, realistically, we're doing pretty good. I cranked on it pretty hard. I got just a little separation with that wheel tub and the trunk floor. It needs a little seam sealer, will be fine. This hole really opened up once you expand it. So we're gonna end up kind of cutting a section like this out of it. And then I'll weld something in there. There's a little kind of filler panel in the back, which is kind of crunchy. I don't really think it does a whole lot. Like the bumper's still secured right to the subframe, so it should be fine. I think I'll get in there, see what I can do. But it'd be like a whole lot of work to get in there and fix just like a loony sized little kind of rot hole. So I'm gonna ignore it. We're just trying to do this thing on the budget. I mean, we're not trying to hide what it is, let's be honest. And on this quarter, I noticed on the inside, someone had jammed all this, I mean, I guess it's fiberglass or something, for the trunk drop down, but there's actually metal there, so I don't know why they did that. But that'll be a future problem for a future video. Obviously, it's had lower quarters, at least work done to them. I mean, they're really bubbling, but maybe welded on somewhere. Mind you, it doesn't look like it. If they were put on, they were done very low, because usually you'd see them right there. But that being said, that's exactly what I'm going to do down here. I'm going to have to weld a little patch in and kind of take care of it. Mind you, this one looks like it might have, it's definitely got body filler on it. Anyway, let's get set up. We'll kind of cut a little section. I might just do both. We'll see what she looks like, and then we'll start getting some sheet metal in there. So I'm going a little further than I wanted to, but whatever. So this is kind of the deal. You know, a little top plate over there. It's a little crunchy in there, but we'll just grind it right in there, weld it over top, plate it. It'll be perfect. Same thing, we'll go over there. It'll be fine for what it is. Right here is where the structure is. This is just a little outrigger to the bumper. This side, she got a little, she's a little worse for wear. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of patchwork. I pulled off this, that's the bumper kind of holder guard deal. And, I mean, the nice thing is all the subframe and all that is nice and sturdy, even inside. You can't really see it in there, but it's all good metal. So I'm going to hose it in there with just a little, penetrating oil, so it can't get any worse. This is kind of a little bit thicker, this section here, than this. I guess it's just this little sheet metal. So I think what we'll do is I'll mill a little piece in there. I'll get that plated. Cut it out, because when I do the wheel or inner whatever rocker, trunk drop down, I'll need something to weld to. So I'll have a nice piece right there. Across here, same thing. I'll just go across. I'll cut some of this junk out, maybe to whatever there. Then I'm just going to plate it right over it. It should be fine. And then in here, once I get it all out, I'll have to make some sort of little bracketry, because this thing here fell off the back. That's what the bumper bolts onto, is so rotten. So I'm probably clean it up, put a little plate on it, drill a hole in it, and it'll be just fine. Paint it black, put it back, and then up this section here, I'll get this finished from the top side. It's much easier to weld top down than bottom up. And this will be good. So I'm gonna get this cut out, we'll start welding. So I was doing a bunch of screwing around. Man, it's like a perfect day out. I welded a little plate onto this bumper kind of extra brace deal. I mean, again, it's all really being hit right there, so just to kind of hold it. So I made a little whoop-de-doo, welded it on. I then took the little brace piece, I don't know, just so it has a little bit of clamping power. Gave her a little test fit. You can see her over through there, but that's that. Then I kind of whipped together this piece by bending on the ground and hammering it out. And the idea is this will kind of do something like that. So we'll have to do some trimming off the edge there and kind of, you know, weld it and bash it and grind it and all that. But at the end of the day, no one's ever going to see this piece because it's going to be behind that and then behind the bumper. And then on the top side, it's going to have that floor we're going to weld on top. So be plenty strong, no big issue. I did zip this real quick just in case I have to rip all this out afterwards. It'll be a lot easier than trying to get to the back. But I might have to do that from the front side depending on how bad that gets too. But there you are. So we should be able to weld this all together. Carry on. So we'll set the tripod up and get this done. I think it's time for lunch. Yeah, can't even tell it's beat to hell. Now, I did a lot of welding up the top in here, so that's all taken care of. Now this here has some flex to it, so the plan is, we have our holes drilled. We're gonna bolt the bumper bracket on. That'll squeeze everything together. And then, whatever this does, we put this patch in, we'll drill some plug weld, and we'll weld it from the top, so that'll be all locked into place. So, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna charge the camera because she's dead. We'll put that back on, we'll bolt that down, we'll let this stuff kind of dry out a little, and I'll probably just clean up this little bit of seam seal on both sides, and really we can start measuring up for a patch panel. Should be pretty simple. A couple of plug welds welded in, and then I think it's lunchtime. Bracket is on, we got everything kind of cleaned up, so now the challenge is Danny went out to get the stuff for lunch, so I got to get this taken care of first. So I don't want to confuse you guys. We're going to use a tool, tape measure. So eyeball it for like 7 3/4 by 9 1/4. So I'll get that cut out of that because it's just flat steel. There's no little ribbing or nothing in it. We could use the floor pans if you're, you know, whatever, but this is closest. So I'll cut a little square out. And then we'll fit it, a couple of plug welds all the way around, and I'm hoping I have this taken care of before I have to go eat. Because that's priority. I'm sorry, guys. I'd love to finish this for you, but lunchtime. Okay, so we got the piece cut. We got a little bit of trimming to do, just because the car is a little bit of a whoop to do here. So, let's cut this off real quick. Bit by bit. Don't let anyone tell you gotta overthink any of this. A little more. So I like to kind of cut it into hard shape, then we'll go over it with the fap wheel after and get her closer. It's actually not too bad. We could probably just buff it up real quick on the bottom. Ugh. Also buy 2 grinders. You're not doing this all the time. Probably should invest in one. Okay, I'll get this buffed up real quick and we'll see how she fits. So now, how'd this go? Got ourselves a pretty slick fitting panel. Now the plan is to weld this side solid. We'll buff that all up, and this side we'll seam seal, because that's just fine. Now, what we gotta do, draw a little line there. This is a terrible marker. Where's this one? Right there. So now we'll have an idea as to where this centerpiece goes. Now you could also get underneath and mark and do all sorts of, you know, fun stuff like that, but we're not doing any of that. Grab the drill, and we're gonna punch some holes in it, plug weld it. Do it on the bench. Perfecto. So now you can see, I mean, we're pretty close. We'll do a little push and pull in here, but all those holes go right down to that steel below. So we'll weld across there, into there, and this will just kind of do whatever. This was originally actually plug welded, so we might just drill some holes. I think I will actually just do that. It'd be a lot easier. Zig, 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 plug weld that. Seam, 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 grind. Done. You can see here how there's all the plug welds there. So I'm gonna get this kind of prepped for welding. We'll get you set up. We'll buzz her in real quick. Okay, I got you guys set up on the trunk, so don't be a pain in the ass here. That's our panel. So it's pretty good. So you want it to be real tight on the front and on the side there, which we got. It's got a bit of a bow. So just go ahead and put a little, damn it, come on, welding helmet. Give her a little tack there. Tack here. One more heat maybe. Oh, the wire speed's way down. There we go. Okay, so that's not bad. The top. Whoops. Oh, that sounds better. There we go, that one. And then that one. So a couple ugly tacks. Give this a little push down as well. There we go. So that panel's in. Obviously, the plugs we got to kind of deal with. So maybe we'll do that real quick. Oh, we'll turn the heat up. Whoops, man, that's pretty flimsy. Okay, that one's good. Man, it's pouring rain all of a sudden. Went from gorgeous to terrible. Oh well. Get this back one in. Gentle, gentle. I can't see. Grab something. Ooh, that's ugly. We'll fix it later. That's a good one. Okay, so that's mostly in. Do these. There you go, panel's locked into place. I'll probably just, give it a couple of knockdowns here and there. And we'll just, and then we'll get something in there. Should be perfect. There we go, decent little panel. It gives you a little bit more grinding and stuff, but for what it's going to be, seam sealed in and then painted, it'll be just fine. But food is here, camera's dead, so we'll come back, we'll tackle this side, which should be a lot easier. There's less screwing around, one little cleanup, little square cut out, and then we really clean this all up in here, seam seal it, let it dry on the side. What we want to do, spackle paint it. I don't know, I kind of like how it's all beat up, but I don't like this. Okay. Windshield's out, only one thing, we're gonna break it. There you go. In, primed, still kind of drying. Good enough. Murr is actually coming over because I told him there's a car I want to go look at, and you know, you gotta support a senior, bring him around. And this is the windshield, so while he's here, we're gonna dupe him in to help him put it in. I got a rubber, I got this. Hopefully it fits nicely. I don't know where it came from. I got it used off the internet from a guy who had a 65 or 4 or 3, I don't know what it was. And he was scrapping it, unfortunately. So I took a bunch of heat on the internet that I didn't buy it because I put it up on Facebook saying, oh, I got this before it got squeezed. Everyone's like, why don't you save it? Man, can't save them all. I want to look at another car. So when I Googled it, 63, 67 front windshields are all the same and the backs are all kind of miscellaneous. But we do a back glass for it. Like I said, the rubber's been ordered. Hopefully this will slide in nicely. I cleaned it up, you know, as much as I was going to. So I have all the confidence in the world. It'll just rope in real nice. I'm going to clean all the junk out that I made a mess. Rope that in. We'll go look at a car. And then later tonight, I'll come back. Hopefully put the shifter in, finish off this interior. This is a real sharp looking car.
Man, untying rope makes you grumpy.
Well, I asked Mur to come over and bring rope. And he brought like a, I don't even know, like half-inch.
I told you.
Like we were hooking up a tugboat.
It's all I got. I did give you a whole roll of the proper stuff and you lost it. Not my fault.
Anyway, so we test fitted the glass in so we know it's good. Went through all the trim, there's miscellaneous stuff, so I think we got all that. And the rubber I have has space for the trim. So that's a bonus. Used stuff for Facebook. This is ridiculous. So hopefully we'll get that all set up. We'll come back and just rope it in nicely. I will say we didn't get the glass from Auto City, and that's where our best luck has come, is with those guys. So we're about to find out if saving some money makes us heroes or zeros. Yeah, and time. It was, you know, don't pay shipping and all that, but I will say the 55 we broke windshield putting it in. We got it local, Chinese stuff, and then the Nova we broke in half. So we're like 50-50 with that stuff.
It's long enough? You want to do the whole thing or what?
Well, let's keep going. Because I did this last time, there wasn't enough rope.
Oh, okay.
I can afford the $1
something.
So we'll get the trim installed and we'll hopefully be placing it in ever so nicely. You're flipped. Yeah, you are. Look at this. Going around, man.
What? No.
Okay, I'll keep putting it on. Let me know when you think I'm right.
All right.
Are you
right.
admitting it yet?
Yeah. All right. So, for the first time in my life, I made a mistake.
Okay. What are you doing? You got my side off now.
Well, no, I said it. You just lay it down and it pops as soon as it hits this thing. It's so thick, it rolls off. You need something to support it in the middle or something like that. Or some
Can
tape.
you get some masking tape from the other garage, just behind the compressor? Like the edge has to be over, or just keep putting it in. It's hanging past. It's almost like it's stainless steel and rubber.
And with no lubricant. You didn't let me stainless steel or this.
Oh, I didn't. Thanks. You can stop calling that. Is it upside down? Yeah.
It's upside down.
I think so.
I think you need some kind of like soapy water or something.
I'm gonna spray it with lube.
Yeah.
Well, all that needs to be, like you don't, what we were doing before is we were lubing inside and the rope was slipping, which is a pain. You just want to do this edge, that's all you want to get burnt. I've done this like 18 times now. We'll get the bottom half started. Once we go up the sides, then we can mess with the... Hang on, let me just change it. Okay.
I would say this might have to slide a little bit.
It's gotta go down.
It's sure a gap between that chrome thing in there. I hope it sucks itself in. Like there's quite a gap between the chrome piece, like right there.
Yeah, we'll just have to mangle it after.
Okay. See how big that thing is? That's my concern. I wonder, where's that little hook thing you had? Maybe it's just here. We could slide some silicone on that, maybe, like that, to lift it out. You know.
I think the problem is this trim is all just bent.
Yeah.
It's fighting us.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way it goes? This now has a... This is real tight now.
Mm-hmm.
Get in here, it's going to be a freaking nightmare. It's just not going to get the top trim because it's not, like the window's not in.
No. It's hanging over, is it? Like it's not, that chrome I think is just making it stay out.
Yeah, I'll just hold this down with this. Like it's just not fitting in it.
That's going down, you know. Can you do that? Maybe I should try. Do you have that suction cup thing? Probably not. I like your idea is grinding the flange off.
Well, that's what we're going to have. I was trying to get it's too slimy now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is it doing anything? Not so much. No, we don't need that. We'll just take that flange off and put a little bit of glue in it, and then it'll just be fine.
That was a freaking nightmare. Wow. How did this fit? Well, that came out okay. Well, it's got a bit of a gap down there even.
Yeah, well, it seems like that. Oh, where's your little hook? I'll just run it along in case it's just not pushed in enough.
I already did that. It didn't really work.
On the outside, yeah?
Yeah. That was a friggin' gong show.
Yeah. See, it looks like this should just all be happy like that.
The glass just fell into place. It wouldn't go all the way back because I think, look how tight this is now.
Yeah, I can see like it squeezed a whole bunch of silicone out there. So.
Totally good for now. Whew. Scene and that shit. So the glass is in. It didn't go great. I'm sure I've put in some clips. I don't know how we edited that. I managed to get this top piece in. Anyway, I got it in there. It's fine. The bottom's a little kind of goofy, but it is what it is. It's looks pretty cool, I think. These are the seats I think I'm going to go with. So we're going to put those in there. I have that ratchet shifter out. So we're going to put that in, see if we have some gears maybe. I don't know where I put the cover for it, so that's always fun. I'm going to run 2 wires for neutral, safety, and reverse, and then we'll just tie into the factory column. I really want to know, like I said, if this transmission is good or not, because I think it's just a linkage that's all mangled up. I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get under it. So if that's the case, then we're golden. Once you get the shifter in, because you got to kind of with the carpet for it, then we can finish off sill plates, all the little trim bits, and I mean, basically have a kind of a mint interior. Man, I love red carpet, but I just can't have nice things. So yeah, man, this thing's cool. We'll get set up in there, and I'll just kind of show you the shifter. You guys see me doing it a bunch of times. I'm going to just self-tapper it to the floor, because that's all you ever have to do. 1 hole through, we'll wrap around, and we'll go to the transmission. Easy peasy. Shifter is mounted. I need to put a couple of spacers on the back bolts. It only has 2 holding it in, but it's fine for now. Needs a little bit of screwing around, but I want to make sure this all works. So I'll just show you here. That's the best way. Stupid dark. So this is the conglomeration of the linkage. So as you can see, it's got all this frickin' play in it. It's got like a carburetor style, I don't even know what. And up here, there's a cotter pin on one side and a cotter pin on the other side to try and hold this rod. Now, I think the exhaust is probably in the wrong spot. It's got to be lower or something. It should just go across. But we're going to eliminate this bit, and we're going to put on ratchet shifter stuff. The cable is right here, so we'll just kind of wrap it around, turbo 350 it, we'll be good. So I'm going to take this apart real quick if I can get to all the bits. We should be able to test it post-haste. So this is the linkage. Now I've never worked on this model Chevrolet before, but the old 2 drilled with a washer and a cotter pin followed with this is what's pushing on the linkage. I don't feel like this was proper. So, got a battery in it. I got my Uncle Tony gas can. Let's fill the float. Sorry, should have done this beforehand. A little spritz. Let's fire it up. Kind of bottle feed a little bit. Make sure it's going to stay running. Man, this thing runs good. Gonna really give the flow to once over. Okay, now we don't have any brakes because somebody cut the brake line, but reverse it had. Reverse good. It's neutral. That's weird. Oh, there we go. That's drive. Okay. Perfect. So, the transmission is okay, at least for now. It'll probably need another flush. That makes me feel good. I can carry on now. It's getting late. I've been giving her all day. I'm just going to finish up the interior a little bit. I don't think I'm going to bolt the seats in yet, but I like to put the sill plates on. Just around the doors, just what finishes up, you know? It's the aesthetics. I have a real flair for interior design. Look at this thing. What a unit. Seats are sitting in there. Unfortunately, they kind of stand out a little bit, but we put the sill plate on, this little molding in. It goes right into the seat. It's actually pretty slick. Carpet looks pretty good in here. I really can't complain. I gotta bolt these in. You'll do that, you know, tomorrow, the next day, or 6 weeks from now. We'll see. But now the fact that it's a runner driver, man, look at the way that door closes. This is a freaking nice hot rod. I am stoked on this thing. So we gotta do the quarter panel. I don't know if we're doing that next or not. I'm kind of burnt out on body work, but maybe I'll wake up tomorrow with a fresh attitude. So we got to get that done, and then the inside of it, which is going to be kind of ugly. So, and I do want to do that before I put the fuel tank in, because it's right there. It's just kind of ugly. The filler neck actually runs through the wheel tub and in, so it's kind of awkward. So I'd rather have the fuel tank out while we're at it. So I've only worked on this thing, well, a few days when we first got it, and it kind of sat a bunch. And then I put, so it's 2 evenings, long evenings, like till, you know, midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, the last video, to get the floors in, which that's an ugly job. Today was a day off, and I started working at 9 o'clock. It's now 9 o'clock, so a full 12-hour day. But we got, you know, everything all taken care of, the rust dealt with. Yeah, the windshield in, realistically. So this is a great project for the weekend warrior kind of guy, as far as I'm concerned. I know a lot of people thought it was a little much for what it was, but it's such a solid car and needed such a little amount of work. All I had to buy for it was the carpet, $200. The seats were like $75 off Marketplace, but you just buy those when you see them. I had the wheels and tires, I had the shifter. There's a few things I had, obviously, kind of kicking around, but realistically, pretty low amount of money going in for what we got coming out. Now, that being said, I checked Speedway today. They have the bolt-on gasser front axle kit, so like the I-beam kit or whatever, straight axle with disc brakes, the steering box, everything ready to go. It's back in stock. So that's a humdinger. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel and maybe liking the video and telling a friend about it, because all that money I get, I seem to just waste, and I would love to waste it on Speedway and make this thing a gasser. But for now, that's where I'm going to leave it. I do have the front end parts to do. I do have a little bit of welding to do. It is what it is. I'm tired. I've had enough. I got to clean the garage up. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.